Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm carrying on my look into non-fiction, ready for non-fiction November, and today I want to talk to you about some non-fiction graphic novels that I have loved. I haven't got any in this particular video that are on my TBR, so if you see the ones that I recommend and you've got any down below that you've given 5 stars, not given down below 5 stars, but if you've given any 5 stars, please mention them in the comments down below, because there'll be ones that maybe I can add to my TBR. The first 3 all come by a same author, and in fact I think I've given nearly all of her graphic novels 5 stars. I think she is amazing. I love the way that she presents her graphic novels, her art style, and also I love the anecdotes and the witty humour that comes through sometimes really difficult topics. I started my journey, in fact, with this author, who is Lucy Knisley, with Relish, and this is Lucy talking about her family and food, and how food has played such a massive part in her life. It offers a reflection on eating and loving food, and it provides recipes, and I truly loved this as I was reading it. I loved the artwork, and that then led me down to reading her back catalogue, which a lot of were in black and white, which wasn't so much for me. These ones are all in colour. And that is something that I really have loved in her books, is her artwork and that sort of colour palette that she uses. So those ones I still enjoyed, but the newer ones definitely that she does in colour I prefer. So this one was the one that set me down the rabbit hole. I then picked up something new, which was her journey as when she was a bride, so when her boyfriend proposed and they were set to get married, and that sort of journey behind their wedding and preparing for the wedding, and perhaps not wanting everything that everybody else wanted, and the pitfalls and the joys of preparing for a wedding. And I just thought that was really nice, and definitely something that if you have someone in your life who is preparing for a wedding, it's quite a nice, light-hearted, interesting look at weddings. And I'd already been married by this point, but I still really enjoyed it. And then the most recent is the next stage in her journey, I suppose. The next big event for her and her husband is Kid Glove's 9 Months of Careful Chaos. And this is Lucy's journey getting pregnant, as well as being pregnant and giving birth. And you know, spoiler warnings in this, there is talk of miscarriages and some trauma in the after birth, which was really quite interesting for me because of my background and how Matilda was born. And I really liked the way that she tackled being pregnant and that sort of the feelings and thoughts that go behind it, and the worries and the scares. And I just really enjoyed her candidness in talking about her journey. So I would definitely recommend these 3 by Lucy Knisley, but all of her work really I think is brilliant. Next I want to talk about a book which is in black and white, which is unusual for me to give 5 stars, and that sounds horrible, but I just tend to prefer that sort of colour, bright colour palette, and black and white doesn't necessarily draw me into the story so much. But I couldn't not talk about Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. I just think this is a brilliant depiction of her childhood. This is a bind up, so there is 2 parts normally to Persepolis, Persepolis 1 and 2, and the first one is the story of a childhood and then the story of a return. And this is both volumes in one place, and it's a brilliant, it says memoir in comic strips about growing up in Iran during and after the Islamic Revolution. And I just thought this was brilliant, and I really enjoyed going into Marjane's life and learning a bit more about what it was like growing up during those times, growing up somewhere other than where I did. And then the final book that I want to recommend to you that I gave 5 stars is Brazen, Women Who Rocked the World by Penelope Bagieux. And I just devoured this. I loved this so much. It is the stories, some of them 3 or 4 pages long, some of them slightly longer, of women that maybe you haven't heard about. Have you heard about Delilah Akeley, the explorer? Well, you can find out in here. It talks about their life. And actually, let me see if I can find them. There's someone that was talked about in here who I would never have heard of before, and then I've been reading a book recently and there's quite a big section, a heavy section documenting her work. Now where is it? Yeah, Frances Glessner Lee. She is a crime miniaturist, and I just think it's fascinating. It's actually a short section in here, but she made these miniature crime scenes like dolls' houses, all in a time period where this sort of making miniatures was quite popular in making sort of dolls' houses and dolls' furniture, and she created all of these sort of crime scenes, like someone murdered in a bath, and she would pepper these crime scenes with all of the different clues, and these were crimes that had happened in order for people to train, for police to train for what they're looking for. And I found this fascinating to find out about, and I was really interested in her, and now she's popped up in another book I'm reading, which I'm really excited about. So this is really good and really can just ignite your interest in lots of different areas, and just finding out about these amazing women just made me feel really good. So that is the books that I want to recommend, non-fiction graphic novels. As I say, I need some to read, some more. So if you know any, please put them in the comments down below so I can pick some up. But I look forward to speaking to you soon in the next one. Bye for now, BookTube.